All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this online version of the Festival of India in South Korea, Sarang 2020. Um, Imtiaz, big 안녕하세요, namaste to you, and wish you a belated happy birthday. You know, I was just going through your profile, and I came to realize your birthday is on 16th of June. So, to begin with, obviously, I know you get this question all the time. What was the moment you wanted to be a movie maker?
Honestly speaking, there was no moment where I decided to or wanted to be a movie maker. Since I'm from a small town, and at that point of time, nobody around me was from the film industry really, I did not think that I'll ever become a film director or make movies. I had a dream, of course, that there is a white colored building in Bombay somewhere.
Okay.
All the producers and directors have each
Wow.
one has an office, and if you're good, then they take you to be a
Okay.
part of the film industry.
That's interesting.
But that is when I was 10 years old, and then when I grew up, I started doing whatever came my way. First theater, then television, and one day I realized that I'm already directing a film.
It's interesting how the way you projected about the movie industry having a white building in your head. If you want to recommend pick one of your movies for Korean audience. What would you like to suggest? What movie would you recommend from your movie list?
I feel that, like, looking at the films, looking at Korean films, the few that I've seen, I would first recommend Rockstar,
Okay.
because I feel that since it's about music, it will pervade the language barrier. Secondly, I feel that I've seen a lot of Korean films are very dramatic
Okay.
about the screenplay.
Can I?
You know,
Sorry to
certain,
interrupt. Can I ask which Korean movies
yeah.
have you seen? Any movie name you can recall? Any Korean movie you
Well,
have seen?
I've seen a lot of them, but unfortunately, I don't remember most of them.
Okay.
Of course, I've seen the movies of Bong Joon-ho.
Oh yeah, he is
And
the one who made
yeah,
Parasite.
so yes, he made Parasite, but I'm really a fan of a movie called Memory of Murders,
Yes.
which
Sorry.
is a movie many,
Sorry,
many
sorry,
years
Nechuok.
back.
Yes.
Yes, and that movie I felt, for instance, was so beautiful in the way that the screenplay was structured. It's a technical point, but I feel that the audience of Korea is a little advanced in the kind of screenplay.
It's very interesting you recommend this movie because usually I also get this question most of the times like what's the big difference between Indian movies and Korean movies, and watching movies from India and Korea in so many years, I always felt like the big difference between Indian and Korean movie is Korean movies they don't have much of happy endings. They just end on a very as realistic it is, whereas the Indian movies they always have this a happy ending. And somehow, when I saw Rockstar, that was one movie which actually had a very realistic end. So yeah, it's a great pick. Um Now, I mean, I'm sure you are a movie buff. Like you said, you wanted to be a movie maker from your childhood. And I'm sure you must have watched movies from all over the world. But now, again, coming back to the Indian movie industry, uh, besides your movie, if you want to pick three movies from the Indian movie industry, what movie will be that?
Well, I would say definitely watch a movie called Sholay. The moment I said Sholay, Miss Ranganathan smiled.
Yes.
So that's how much that movie means to every Indian. And it was obviously made many years back, 1975, I think it was made. But
Yeah.
one must watch Sholay because a lot of things come together. And it's a very good, great film. It's perhaps the biggest film that has been made in India. I would say see Munna Bhai Part 2,
Munna Bhai
which
Part
is
2.
Munna Bhai M.B.B.S.
Okay.
I would say watch that film again because it will give you the texture of how things are happening over here, and people might be fascinated because it's also to do with the philosophy of Gandhi.
Yeah.
It's a very beautiful way of expressing that. I think as Indians we have two things to boast about, and one of them is philosophy, and the other is diversity. So you see that in that film.
You said you have watched a lot of Korean movies, but being living here for so many years, we just want to know your thoughts. Like, what comes in your mind when you think about South Korea? Like, what pops in your head? Like,
See, what pops in my head right now is the fact that they have gone through, like they have really, they are potential world leaders in a way of. I feel that it must be very well organized, or people must be very creative and innovative in Korea. That's what I'm thinking now. Before that, what I used to be thinking is kimchi. That there's a certain taste to the food of Korea,
okay,
and I've always been a fan of that food. So that is what I used to think of Korea to begin with. When I was growing up, I used to think of Korea as the place of Taekwondo.
okay,
And then I saw Memories of Murder. Then I used to think that, so that was Korea for me. Memories of Murder, and people that are very expressive and even violent potentially.
it's
But now recently I've seen how this country has really evolved in, I think, socio-politically and in many ways. And I don't know as much as any of you know. I know the least. But the impression that one has of the Republic of Korea is that it's a place of great advancement. Like new things are happening, and maybe they can teach us a thing or two about how to move on in this modern world. When I see, for instance, the fact that the winners of the video competition are being given 2 round trips to India. I think there is already something that you guys have learned from Korea. I feel, because what will happen is that June will go there after having made kimchi curry smile. More ideas will come to his mind about India. Maybe he'll make something about India.
He's smiling right now.
It will be better for all of us, and definitely for the Ministry of Tourism of India, right? So,
yeah.
So that's the way to go forward.
I can see June smiling right now. He's really happy and looking forward to visit India again. Now, being in cinema, what you think COVID will, what changes you think it will bring to cinema and in theaters in coming town? Because this is not a one day thing. It's going to be there for a while. So what is your thinking process in that perspective? Like how cinema will get changed from there?
I think the long-lasting effect of Corona on the film industry will be this, that overall the creative quality of films will improve. And the reason I say it is born out of personal experience, because I realized in these 6 months that I've been under lockdown pretty much, that in my years of being a film director, I've never really had the chance to do things that I think are important for me or good cinema, often because I have been doing things that are urgent, that this is happening, I have to do it, and I have to do that. And a few ideas were just left on the side, and I did not have the time to refine them or indulge with them and bring out something which I haven't been able to before. Now, when these 6-7 months happened and I had as much time as I wanted to look at whatever I wanted to look at, I realized that this has a potential of improving my own films as it goes forward. Because, you get time to refine yourself. So I feel this is the long-lasting impact. Of course, there is already a lot of problem in the Indian film industry, who used to get money every day for the work that they do. Being out of work has been a very big problem for them. It has been a problem for everybody financially. But I think those are wounds that can heal. And the big advantage of making better content. And also, the other thing is that we also understand what the digital medium is. Before this, I feel that everyone in India used to think of the digital medium as a ghost. Also, a lot of people used to think that the digital medium is a like if you make a film and it's not good, then it will come into the digital medium.
Exactly.
If it's not good enough.
They had their
That is not the case.
yeah.
So we have begun to understand the digital medium and what you can do in OTT platforms vis-a-vis cinema. The splendor of the big screen cinema theater, as long as I am alive, will always be there, because I feel there is nothing like that. But a digital platform has its own space, and you can make different kind of content for it. So this definition also has been understood, at least by the filmmakers in India.
Yeah, it's it's very interesting. Like I was having a conversation with few of my friends in the movie industry in Korea, and they say like during the Corona situation, how people have actually started watching movie more on the digital platform, and also with the VR technology evolving so much, they have a different movie experiences. It's very interesting the way you put this.
Thank you, Mr. Lucky, and many thanks to Imtiaz Ali for accepting and spending so much time and being so generous with taking up all the questions also. It's been a great session, and many thanks to our most distinguished guest, Mr. Imtiaz Ali, for joining us today for this launch of Sarang 2020, and also to Mr. Lucky for making this session so lively through his witty questions and taking forward the conversation to entirely different
Thanks a lot.
keeping us all engrossed. Thank you, Mr. Lucky, for this.
Thank you very much. Bye.